Hello and welcome to another one of my videos. So I've had quite a lot of good feedback about the video I did on fitting a battery or being able to run a LiPo battery on the FrSky 6. So I thought I'd give it a shot with the Taranis QX7, which has just arrived. So that's already LiPo enabled. So what I'm going to do is show you how to modify it and make it look really cool. Plus, I haven't made a video in a while. I've been out of the action. I've been spending the last week in London, visiting RTX, which was incredible. So yeah, let's crack on and let me show you what I've got and what arrived in the post. And let me show you what I've received. So, we've got two M7 gimbals, brand new from BangGood. These arrived in 2.5 weeks. Actually, these arrived in 2 weeks. These arrived before everything else. The box is smashed up, but luckily the gimbal is not. It's still in one piece. So we have the two gimbals. Let's put them over there. I have some multicolored heat shrink, and I'm going to show you what I plan on doing with that later on. Go there. I have a battery. This arrived this morning, so finally, I hope it fits in the battery tray anyway. So this is a 1500 2S, I think it is. Yep, a 1500 2S LiPo. I don't know what all this plastic's about. That might be coming off, or if not, if that, I don't know. We'll work that out. I didn't realise it had that extra plastic on the balance plug, but can't worry about that later. Let's just get it back in there, and then we have some flashy purple anodized bits. So these are, I've decided to go with purple. So we've got in there a red balance adapter, so we can better balance the thing. Lots of, obviously the silver one from the FrSky, but we'll ignore that, of course. We have some new gimbal sticks. Now these are identical to the FrSky FrSky 6 ones. I got very used to those and thought they were quite comfortable on my fingers. Whereas the original ones that came with the Taranis were this style, and they weren't comfortable. Plus, these are no good. These are M3 thread, whereas these are M4. But these will need to be drilled, so I'll show you how to do that in the video. So that can all go back in there. And then another 2S LiPo. We'll ignore that for now. And then we have the Taranis. So I've gone for bright fluorescent green, so thanks for using. That's nice, stickers. Instructions, I've already had this out the packing last night to put an SD card in it, to make sure it all worked. So I put an SD card in it, made sure it all worked, took the battery tray out the back. But other than that, it's exactly the same as when I got it out of the box, already been converted to mode 2. And I never put the rubber pop back on the bottom. Let's pop that back in now. So there we go, the radio. So I'm going to get started, and I'm going to sit down and think about what I want to do with this. Right, so now we have the radio out of the box, the one that's already been converted to mode 2. The throttle's ratcheting, which I quite like. I'm a fan of the ratcheting throttle. What I've done already is I've gone onto the OpenTX website and just downloaded the SD contents and put the SD card in. So if I get a 2S LiPo, plug this in quickly, and I'll show you what it does once you've stuck an SD card in with the SD card contents. You turn it on.
Welcome to OpenTX. Switch warning.
Had a switch warning. You can also get a throttle warning as well, so it's quite nice. This is a standard voice, so throttle up. Let's do a switch as well, see if we get both.
Welcome to OpenTX. Throttle warning. Switch warning.
Oh, you do get both. Failsafe warning. Failsafe not set. Push any key. See, comparing that to the old-fashioned FrSky, where it's just place all switches to the right position, throttle down, and then you fire up. So it's nice that the FrSky gives you that but it's not as in depth as the Taranis, which for a 30 quid radio and a 70 quid radio is a big difference. So let's turn that off. Turn that off, hold the button down. It's another nice feature as well, you can't accidentally turn it off. Now let's plug out that 2S for now. If you'll come out. Whilst I'm here, let's check the new battery I've ordered and see if that big plastic connector is going to be an issue. So I think it might be, and will it even fit? So it fits in there perfectly. And the big plastic extra crap on the connector. Yep, it is going to be an issue. So if you get a battery like this, nice and easy, just pop this off. Now it will break open, please. Yeah, there we go. Right. Don't know what that's for, it's gone now. But no longer need that. So now that will fit in the back of the Taranis. So this is a Zop Power, nothing special, 7.4 2S, 25C, 1500 mAh with a T connector, just purely because that's what I have at the moment to charge everything. I am steadily moving over to XT60, but in the meantime T connectors are alright, I suppose. They can be a bit sparky and a bit antsy. So yeah, that'll fit in there, nice and so I don't no longer need a battery hanging out the back of the radio. It's quite nice. Put that to one side for now. While we're staring down the back, got the converted. Let's whip the back off and let's have a look inside. Pop the back cover off for now and then undo the screws. Right, so once you've undone the screws, the back pops off very easily. It's not like the FrSky where you've got to undo wires and all the rest of it. Now, I know I'm going to be comparing this to the FrSky a lot and not any of the other radios I've got. That's purely because that's the one I've most recently been working on. I'm going to put the screws in a safe place so I don't lose them. I've also got a few ideas to modify the back of the case. And here we have the rear. Now they have actually removed the throttle screw on this one. Just by inserting that screw all the way in, it removes the spring, which I completely forgot about. So let's crack open our two M7 gimbals. Now there's loads of videos online about how to set your gimbals up for mode 1, mode 2, so I'm not going to get into that. I'm just going to purely fit the gimbals for now. I haven't converted either of these gimbals to the correct mode I wish to use, so I'm going to go ahead and do that quickly and then we'll come back in a second. So let's compare the gimbals a second. So this is the stock, what I've just pulled out, and this is the M7 Hall effect sensor. So as you can see, they're nice. This ring will still go on there and it looks absolutely hideous. I think that looks horrible. I'm probably going to need it. I reckon I'll just cut that down to get it to fit flush, make it look a bit better. Because I don't particularly like the look of that. I think that looks a bit horrific. A way to ruin it, really. Right, so that's now sat in there. Yeah, not the best looking thing, is it? Big silver ring. So I think what I'm going to do is take these out, give them a lick of purple paint to match all the extra purple bits I'm going to be putting on there, and once that's dry we can get cracking. Whilst I'm painting that and drying that, let's get on to replacing all the extra bits. Right, so as the little rings are drying in the background, let's crack on. So let's first of all change all the switches, because that's a nice easy task. Plus, while we got the back off, we won't drop any switches, we can just pick them up, stick them back in. So empty our pack of purpley bits out. Now remember, there is one missing because it's already on the FrSky radio. It's a bit rubbish, I know. And there's the key. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 are required because I am going to change them underneath the pots. As simple as unscrewing the original one. That's done up tight. Sitting a new one on there. And doing back up. I say that whilst I'm struggling. And there we go. So that's the first one done. So if all goes well, I should be able to just go puff and all the switches are changed. Now unfortunately those were, although they're the same outer diameter, the thread's at M5 not M4, the thread's bigger, so we can't change those. So there we have all the switches done in purple, which looks quite nice. So at the beginning of the video I mentioned that I had bought a pack of multicoloured heat shrinks. Now I'm going to use that heat shrink to cover all these switches. I know some people like to go out and buy those great big things that slip on that look horrible, and I generally just don't pick them. So I thought, well, a bit of heat shrink on there will give you a nice bit of grip on what could be a slippery switch. Go down there like that. So for these two really thin ones, I'm going to chop it. Stick it on to get the right size. Let's turn that one upside down. Let's cut another one the same size as that. So, voice is going funny. So we know where to put the other one. So now we have these two done. So slide that down there like that, just a little bit over the top. And there we have first two switches done. Now cocked it up a little bit because that one sticks out over the top a little bit and that one doesn't stick out over the top as much as I would have expected it to. But that's alright, we now have purple switch cover. To get these gimbals or gimbal sticks to fit nicely on the actual gimbal itself, they need to be drilled out using a 5mm drill bit, which I just measured up against the original. So what I'm going to do for this is I'm going to wrap the gimbal ends in a bit of tape so it's protected. Protects the galvanising. I'm just going to very steadily drill the hole out. Now I don't want to damage the threads in the end. I have got a thread kit, shall we say, so it's not a big problem. I can always rethread them, but I'd rather not have to do that. So I'm going to draw them out quickly and I'll show you them finished. Right, so I have managed to drill these out. Look at how much material is left on there, very little. So they're both now drilled out to M5 or 5mm, which is the correct diameter for this. So now I can thread these on there, screw them up and screw them down onto the gimbal. And what I'm going to do as well is I'm just going to take the grub screw, the little M4 grub screw out of the other gimbal sticks, and I'm just going to tighten them down just because they have a tendency to come loose. The FrSky ones especially, they come loose for a passion, and it was really irritating when I was flying and having a thumbstick come loose. So with these I do not want that to happen, so I will be adding any extra locks I can just to get these down nice and tight. Right, so after a quick look through the workshop I found some fluorescent orange silicone hose. It's nice and grippy. It'll make that handle nice and a lot better. Right, so there we have the handle done. It's a bit of 4mm internal diameter silicone tube. Looks a bit better on the back. Now I'm still waiting for this paint to dry. So here it is, the finished radio. We have the throttle stick on the left because I'm a mode 2 guy. Aileron elevator. Got all the switches with our heat shrink on and fancy purple surrounds. Got the horrifically done Raptor antenna, which I'm going to sort out in a second once I finish the video. Got the purple rings on there. I've added the a red balancer just because the silver one looked a bit naff, and this one also swivels, pivots, so it's easier to get the on button. Got the orange handle at the back and the wrapped battery case. So all in all, it's not a bad looking radio. Now all I got to do is program the gimbals in, stick in my module in the back, and start binding it to my airplanes and setting them all up. Right, so that's the Taranis done. Now all I've got to do is go and connect it to my current airplanes, which are all running AFH DS2A from FrSky. So I've got myself a module. I've also got a couple of FrSky receivers, so I'm going to try and get them running. And get it going. So I hope you enjoyed the video. You probably wouldn't have found it useful because it's all simple stuff, apart from the heat shrink. I thought that was quite cool. Let me know how you get on with your QX7s. Good looking radio. I'm yet to play with this one properly. And see what these gimbals are actually like as well. They feel so much better than the old FrSky crap. The difference between a decent radio. Also, to get this radio as it sits now, this cost me £110. So that's I paid 30 for the gimbals, 70 for the radio, and then 10 quid for the rest of the stuff off BangGood. An absolute bargain. The battery pack I used cost a couple of quid. I'll link that in the description as well, so you guys can run the same thing if you want. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you want to see anything else like this. If you've got a FrSky FSI6 and want to convert it to run on different batteries, see my other videos. And see my other videos if you want to see me fly and crash stuff. So cheers again. So yeah, hit like and subscribe because that helps me out. And also I've got a Twitter. It's Samuel S. Phelps. I'll put a link in the description along with my website. Thank you very much. Bye bye.